Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Watch and on Facebook Live for a look at your detailed Colorado weather forecast. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Busy today, then we're just kind of hot and dry again, and then next week could turn interesting once again. We'll get into all those details, but for now, starting to see some of those clouds and some of those possible first showers and thunderstorms developing off the foothills. There's a live view of Boulder. I think the main action will be south of Boulder today. So just a few fair weather clouds for our friends up into the Flatirons, and then you head a little further south from there, and that's where the main action will be later on this afternoon and this evening. Could see some large damaging hail, some strong storms possible today. Again, this will be mainly south and east of the Denver metro area, but maybe one or two of those storms do try and squeak the way into the metro proper. Again, I think the main risk will be well south and east of Denver. Brief cool down ongoing, and then we go right back to summer for your day tomorrow. Now, in terms of today's risk, it's going to be, again, mainly south and east of Denver, that yellow shaded zone. That is a level 2 on a 0 to 5 scale in terms of that possibility for severe storms. And that'll be for kind of far eastern Arapahoe, but mainly into Elbert, in Lincoln, and eastern El Paso counties, and then points south and east of there where we have that primary risk for damaging hail. That'll be the main risk for most of us, and also some strong winds could be in excess of 60 or 70 miles an hour in a few spots. But again, Denver, we're right on the fringe of it, but most of the action will be south and east of us from the Palmer Divide on south from there. Starting to see a cold front work its way on through. That's that narrow little ribbon of clouds that's moving its way from northwest to southeast across the state, and along and ahead of that will be the main risk for some of those stronger showers and some storms. Just not quite warm enough, most likely in Denver, to get some of that warmer, get some of those stronger showers and storms. So let's kind of push things ahead a bit to 3-4 o'clock. We're in around Colorado Springs and on east through Falcon and Lyman and along I-70 and points south of I-70. That's where that main risk for some of that damaging hail and some of those large and some of those strong winds will be. Pueblo could get on some of that, and by kind of 7-8 o'clock or so tonight, most of those showers and storms mostly confined to the far southeastern corner of the state. That would be out by Baca and Prowers County, so Lamar, Springfield, La Junta on south and east, seeing some of those storms. And then by later on this evening, after dark, we will be done with those storms statewide. And by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, we're back to our regularly scheduled summer pattern with temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s. Closer look in here at the metro area. And again, we do have 1 or 2 storms hanging around the south side of the metro area. That would be probably Elbert, as I mentioned, and Douglas counties, and perhaps into Arapahoe County as well. So kind of C470 on south will have the greatest risk at seeing some of those storms today. Downtown, we do have a risk. I know we're not showing it here on the model. I just don't want to entirely rule out downtown Denver yet, but the best chance will be on the southeast side of the metro area. You get north and west of downtown, and that's where it looks like we should be on the dry side. I don't think we're going to see any big impacts, by the way, to the presidential visit to Denver today. I think we should be mainly on the clear side because that cold front's pushed its way on through. Again, can't rule out any sort of impacts to the presidential visit today, but we should probably be on the dry side from the downtown area on north for the remainder of your afternoon and into your early evening time frame. And then by tonight, as I mentioned, we're going to clear things on up pretty quickly for us in the Denver area. By the time the sun goes down, we'll be done with that severe weather risk for the evening across the metro area. Current temperatures, much cooler today. A lot of 60s and 70s. Enjoy it if you like the fall-like weather, because this is not going to last. That we're going to warm back up very, very quickly from these temperatures that you're looking at right now. Leadville at 10,000 feet. We're at 65 degrees right now. In the western slope, 82 for us at Grand Junction. That is more of a sign of what's to come for us along the Front Range. The forecast highs for this afternoon running a couple degrees below average. 78 for us in Denver, 78 Colorado Springs, 81 in Burlington. Most of what you're looking at here on this map, about 3 to 5 degrees below where we should be for the now getting close to the third week of the month of September. So getting a little cooler than average. Nothing too crazy about that, but we will be maybe significantly cooler next week. Meantime, tonight, temperatures dropping back into the mid-50s. Very clear and crisp night for us along the Front Range. Open up those windows. It will feel very, very nice outside this evening. Might need a light jacket later on tonight and early tomorrow morning. Meantime, speaking of tomorrow, Yeah, we're right back to the heat. 88 for a high tomorrow with sunny skies. And by the way, I think we'll be mainly okay in terms of wildfire smoke for the remainder of the week. Most of that smoke should stay well off to our north, but we do have those sunny skies. We should have some, maybe a little bit of ground ozone pollution for tomorrow afternoon to deal with as well. But again, for most of us, the big story for tomorrow will be those much warmer temperatures, those much clearer skies, and we're probably not dealing with a drop of rain statewide for your day tomorrow, and we stay very dry for the remainder of the week. So upper 80s tomorrow, low 90s for the southeastern part of the state, mountains 70s and 80s fairly widespread, and a closer look in at the Front Range, 90 Arvada, 92 in Longmont, 89 Aurora, 89 Denver, and 91 Littleton. So most of us running on the hot side. And then look at the weekend, 90 for us once again for both Saturday and Sunday. And then early next week, we crash those temperatures on down. Now, exactly when that happens, how that happens is still in question, but I kind of tweeted this a few minutes ago. I would not be surprised. In fact, I would say at this point it's probable that we'll be wearing a jacket, or we'll need a jacket next week in Denver. Tuesday, Wednesday looks to be quite interesting as a deep trough low pressure moves its way on in from the north and west. Could be dealing with some mountain snow, maybe some slushy snow for us in the foothills and the mountains. Again, dealing with maybe some accumulating snow by the middle part of next week. Again, still some big questions about the timing of things, but there's increasing agreement that we'll see a big cool down early to mid next week. Until then, though, it is summer continued with highs in the upper 80s and low 90s. So that'll do in terms of that overall forecast. We're going to take a quick look here and see if you got any questions about what we could be talking about for next week. Again, it does look like next week will be quite on the active side. Again, early to mid next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll see that big cool down with those temperatures going down to unusually cool levels for this time of year. So Brad asking about that fall weather. You're getting it today, a little bit, and then next Tuesday, next Wednesday, that's when we start talking about those possibilities for some of that slushy accumulating snow in a few spots. We'll get into some details of that as we get a bit closer. We're 7-8 days out, so long ways to go on that, but I would say at this point, it's pretty safe to say that in the Denver area, we'll probably need jackets for the first time next week. And by the way, fall, astronomical fall, is next. It starts next Wednesday on September the 22nd. So appropriate that we'll ring in fall with some fall-like weather, but until then, again, feeling like summer until then. So hopefully that answers some of those questions for you, Brad. And looks like Luis asking about the hail threat. The main threat will be between about kind of 4 and 8 o'clock this afternoon, this evening, and the primary risk will be south and east of Denver. So again, Elbert, Lincoln counties, El Paso County, getting east of there, not Morgan County, a little bit too far north, but maybe southern Washington County as well. Looking at those higher risks for some of that damaging hail, as well as some strong winds that could be in excess of 60 or even 70 miles an hour. So there's a detailed look at your Colorado weather forecast. Meteorologist Chris Bianchi here in the 9 News Weather Center, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.